LSAC is removing the logic game section from the LSAT, starting with the August 2024 LSAT. So if you're applying to law school next cycle, you have a decision to make. Do you take the LSAT with the game section by June at the latest, or without the game section, starting with the August 2024 LSAT? Of course, you could try out taking a handful of exams with the game section, then create a bunch of exams without the game section and see how you do on each. But the thing is, most pre-law students are able to improve their LSAT scores significantly with just a couple weeks of studying the game section. So you may want to give it a try and see, are you able to improve your LSAT score on the games with just a few weeks of studying? There are a limited number of game types, and the patterns are much more readily apparent when it comes to logic games than on logical reasoning and reading comprehension, where you'll deal with the perceived ambiguities of language. In contrast, games are rather clear-cut, and you don't have the same vocabulary issues. So anyone who is a non-native English speaker or those with more STEM backgrounds tend to do better on the games, whereas those with more humanities backgrounds who focused more on reading in undergrad tend to do better on logical reasoning and reading comprehension. So bottom line, if you're a non-native English speaker or you come from more of a STEM background or both, you likely want to be done with the LSAT by June 2024, so you could take the LSAT with the game section. In that case, your format will be one scored game section, one scored logical reasoning section, and one scored reading comprehension section. In contrast, those who are not so good at the games and have difficulty improving significantly on them, you may want to take the LSAT starting with the August 2024 LSAT, where you'll take it with two scored logical reasoning sections and one scored reading comprehension section, no logic games at all. I should point out as well that law schools do not care which version of the LSAT that you take. They don't care if you take it with the games or without the games. They don't care if you take it on paper with accommodations or on a computer, or whether you take it from home on your own computer or in person in a testing center. It's all the same to them. They don't have any incentive to care about the format you take it in, because all they care about is the score. That's what goes to the American Bar Association, and in turn, that's what goes to US News for creating the ever important law school rankings. So you've got plenty of time here if you're applying to law school next cycle. August is several months away, so take some time, take some practice tests, see how you do with the games, see how you do without the games. In my experience, most students, even those who have more reading backgrounds, more from the humanities, are able to improve their LSAT scores significantly on the games portion. It ends up being their best section, myself included. I was terrible at games at the beginning. I majored in the humanities, political science in particular, and I was able to get consistently perfect scores on the game section because, again, they're more mathematical in nature, they're more clear-cut, the patterns are more apparent. Typically, those who score 170 or above on the LSAT tend to get perfect on the game section, maybe -1. Then they're losing 2 to 3 points on each of the other sections, namely reasoning and reading comp. It's also worth considering that if you take the LSAT in August or beyond, with again the 2 scored logical reasoning sections and 1 scored reading comp section, that means you could potentially have 3 logical reasoning sections back to back, the 2 that are scored along with the 1 unscored experimental section that they're using to test out future LSAT questions. So you want to decide, is your nightmare just taking 1 section of games, or is your nightmare taking 3 logical reasoning sections back to back and you don't even know which one doesn't count? It's your choice to make. Of course, you could take the LSAT with the games and without the games and see which goes better for you. The only downside with that approach is you're spending time studying logic games, which will of course help you on, say, the June LSAT, but then will not help you at all on the August LSAT, yet you would have invested time studying games that would not help you for those later administrations. No easy answers here. I'm simply presenting you with the options and letting you make up your mind. So I'm curious, what do you plan to do? Games or no games? Leave your thoughts in the comments. And if you're looking for help preparing for the LSAT, there are a variety of ways I could support you in achieving your goal of 170 plus, if that is in fact what you're looking for. We have a variety of live options, live small group sessions, on-demand video courses, small group coaching, one-on-one coaching. Check out the links below this video to find out more and to book a call with me and my team. We'd love to help you out. And if you haven't already, get a copy of my book, Mastering the LSAT, available at lsatmasterybook.com. In the meantime, I'll wish you all the best and take care.